Hello everybody, and welcome back to Persona 4 Arena Ultimax. Oh my god, it's been so long since we've actually touched the story, since I wanted to take a break from the game and just do like arcade mode and some other videos, but now I'm going to come back to the story for episode Peak 3, also episode of Dachi. We'll probably either going on before this or about in the middle during this. So you can get both of those to see what you want. So let's obviously get into chapter 1. I'm actually excited because I didn't touch the story at all, just to make sure.
The death of everything, but also the beginning. People have filled the world, yet turned it into a void. The only hope of salvation lies in ruin.
What the hell?
You work in a zoo because that's one huge pile of shit you're pushing around. So, how'd that turn out for you, Dad? It doesn't matter now that you're dead as a doornail, does it? You wanted the world destroyed, huh? Isn't that right, you worthless pest? Fine, I'll do it. This shitty world with its shitty people and shitty lives will disappear, and I'll be the only thing left.
What?
After all, if the Father's fallen into darkness, then the Son must rise. Just kidding.
Wow.
What nonsense.
What?
These constructs can only remain active within my red fog. Even then, they can only do so for a limited amount of time. If you have time to waste with worthless sentiment, hurry up and complete your preparations.
Ha! You've got no sense of humor. Keep up your whining and I'll have to kill you too.
Okay, that's how I hide it. Okay.
Such impudence. Take them. They are your pawns.
They're pretty well made. Fine, I've got the power I borrowed from you too. So now there's no way I could lose. Well then, time to make like a tree and turn over a new leaf or whatever.
A puppet version of a puppet. I'll make sure you get the job done this time.
Wow.
Now let's begin. For the sake of his world.
Holy shit. May 5th, afternoon. I'm at the Shadow Operatives Lab.
I finished going through Labrys's personality module and control links.
Fuka-san's voice echoes through the machinery-lined room where she works as the operator. It seems that it'll be a little more time until she'll be finished with her work.
I knew we could count on you.
I'm sorry that I asked you for such a big favor. Oh no, I couldn't possibly stand by after something so important happened. But, is it really all right for me to be doing this? Aren't you all part of some kind of police organization now?
There's no need to be concerned. Even now that we've become the Shadow Operatives, this lab belongs solely to the Kuhijo group.
Okay. The Shadow Operatives, a special unit under the direct supervision of the National Police Agency, organized to deal with supernatural cases that the normal police would be unable to respond in other words, cases dealing with shadows. This is one of the laboratories under the management of the Shadow Operatives. The purpose of this place is to mainly analyze evidence gathered in shadow-related cases and analysis of shadow matters for scientific understanding and planning operations. Another objective is the maintenance, inspection, and service of anti-shadow weapons such as myself. Since I am a member of the Shadow Operatives, and I am classified as a weapon due to my mechanical nature, I periodically undergo maintenance at this facility. Directly after the inauguration of the Shadow Operatives, Mitsuru-san had a state-of-the-art packing case prepared to transport me. However, the one slumbering within this case is my sister Labrys, the 5th-generation anti-shadow suppression weapon, and our new comrade.
I finished investigating Labrys's mobility systems. All I have to do now is reboot her OS and perform some final checks.
Thank you. How is she?
She'd sustained some heavy structural damage, so I was worried, but thankfully none were critical.
Since my sister had been forced to push herself far beyond her limit during the events of the other day, her entire body is taking serious damage. Oh, wait. Okay, so we are, in fact, I guess. Okay. I'm glad that she's okay. Fuka-san's words caused me to sigh with relief.
I see. And what did you recover from her memory?
I'm sorry. I searched through it, but I found no records that would lead to finding the one behind what happened. If we want to pursue him any
Note
further,
that this is
we'll have to wait
before
for a report from intelligence.
this is before the events of Persona 4 Arena Ultimax, and then it's basically where Persona 4 Arena Ultimax episode P4 starts for them, and then eventually it'll continue on, right? And then we'll see a different ending.
I see.
I see Mitsuru-san tighten her fist with the quiet utterance. I can't see her fist, and she doesn't seem mad about it. The culprit is somewhat capable of manipulating the data in my sister's memory. The possibility that they would make the mistake of leaving a trace leading to themselves is extremely low. Even when no one knows the outcome, people often find indignant when the last bit of hope is crushed. It's understandable our ability to find out who kidnapped my sister had been completely stymied.
Then we have no clues to go on.
Don't be so hasty. You might get new leads from intelligence, right?
Ever since that attempted airplane hijacking, we've learned that the Public Safety Division has been making some disquieting moves. If we don't make a move soon, there's no telling what they'll do to take advantage of the situation. We have to find a lead before they do anything.
Though Akihiko-san has known Mitsuru-san for a long time, Mitsuru-san's expression remains stiff as he tries to console her. But it's only an actual shadow. Operatives are still a delicate position with regards to where we stand within the National Police Organization. As a seemingly suspicious group founded by an outsider and dealing with crimes outside the capabilities of the normal police force, we often are met with cold stares from the people who should be our fellow investigators when we are dispatched on cases. The logic of such actions eludes me, but I cannot pretend that they do not exist.
I understand how you feel, Mitsuru-san, but we must solve one problem at a time. That is why we have gathered here today.
You're right. I'm sorry. Please work with me here in reviewing what information we already know.
Mitsuru-san implores us for assistance. Our gathering here at the lab today isn't just to hear about the results of Fuka-san's tests on my sister. We've come to share and review the information we have to inspect the clues as closely as possible to get closer to the culprit as quickly as possible. I feel like that was a crazy tongue twister right there.
The person behind this case first stole Lazarus, the 5th generation anti-shadow suppression weapon, while she was in transport.
Yes. The hijacking of the airplane you were on was a diversion used to conceal the theft of my sister, after which she was transported to Inaba.
Correct. The hijackers were subdued and captured, but we have reason to believe that their minds were under some kind of control.
Those who hijacked the airplane and transported the case had no memory of taking part in each crime. They did not recognize one another, had nothing in common, and were all ordinary citizens with no prior criminal records. They did, however, all claim in their testimonies that they saw red eyes. Through their interrogations are still ongoing, it seems that it won't be long before they are released. With all these points taken into consideration, it becomes apparent that this is no ordinary crime.
The culprit waited until he arrived in Inaba to turn Labras on and fiddle with her memory. And then he threw her into the TV world, right?
Where one's heart and memories manifest themselves. As a machine, Labras was able to control these memories in great detail. In other words, the enemy used her in order to set a trap for us.
When we entered the television world in pursuit, we defeated her shadow and made indirect contact with the culprit.
That person revealed that his goal was to steal our personas by making us fight each other, which would weaken our hearts and turn our personas to shadows. Once he'd accomplished that, he would combine them all so we could have even more powerful shadows.
Everyone fell silent. The mysterious person's motive was to gather and unify shadows. This is also similar to something that those of us gathered here will never forget.
Shuji Ikutsuki.
The culprit's speech pattern is consistent with Ikutsuki-san's mannerisms. His inability to use a persona matches him as well.
But that's not possible.
That's right. We've confirmed Ikutsuki's death.
Or maybe there's someone out there besides Ikutsuki who still thinks the same way he did.
If so, then the world we strive for is still far away.
Mitsuru-san sounds as if she's in agony. Shuji Ikutsuki, 3 years ago, he became fascinated with the fall and tried to bring about the end of the world using shadows. To Mitsuru-san, he is also the adversary that robbed her of her precious father.
Yamagishi, when Labrys awakens, can you give her a summary of the case from 3 years ago?
1 second, guys. Okay, but
I'd like her to know what
I
went
was
on
just
while she
texted
was sealed.
by a friend. Apparently she forgot something here. Trying to find out what book it is. Apparently she said she forgot her book here. Where the hell is this book? Sorry, but you know, I keep forgetting I record, so I should keep working at this.
I understand.
God damn it.
Can't you just stick that data into her memory?
If we did that, it would just become a piece of data to her. She needs to be told about it in order for her mind to understand what happened.
She's human through and through, huh?
Also, I noticed something when I was checking her memories. The makeup of Labrys's memory field is slightly different from Igus's. Besides the memory area that she normally accesses, there seems to be a sub-network of some sort.
She has 2 memory networks?
I think it was probably used to incorporate the feedback from her sibling units, but I still don't know for sure.
Okay. Sorry. I got distracted. I needed to find this book that my friend apparently left here today. Goddamn people.
That's why I believe it's safer to tell her in person.
All right, I'll let you tell her however you see fit. Regarding Yakutski, I'm pressuring staff to hurry and review the information, including the newly discovered quarantine server at Ergo Research. We never knew about the server in question before now, because it had been cut off from the group's network. It most likely has information that normally would have never left Ergo Research, such as data on top-secret experiments.
Higuchi-san could be involved in this case. Mitsuru-san's worry and irritation may be because she senses that possibility. We can all understand the pain she must be in.
By the way, what is the logic behind that whole midnight channel thing?
It's still unknown, but we'll have to send people to Inaba again. We're going to hold a meeting at headquarters tomorrow to discuss countermeasures.
What? Suddenly, an alarm that notifies us of all abnormalities goes off and reverberates throughout the lab. Damn, I can't read. Mitsuru-san quickly uses nearby control panel to contact the staff within the facility.
What's going on?
The surveillance system detected a rise in shadow readings. It's currently stabilizing around a level 3 alert.
Who the heck is this girl?
What?
She looks like a
he's
maid.
shown up already. That saves us the trouble of having to puzzle this out.
Yusan and his friends are in danger. Mitsuru-san, please give the order to dispatch us.
All right, we'll leave at once. Yamagishi, leave Lapras to Kikuno and accompany us.
I understand. Well then, I leave the rest to you, Kikuno-san.
Understood. Lady Mitsuru, everyone, please be careful.
One of Mitsuru-san's personal domestic assistants, or should I say, maids, Kikuno-san, answers. Kikuno-san and Mitsuru-san have a strong bond that of any ordinary servant master, and she is another of the shadow operatives. Her words catch my attention for some reason. Please be careful. A very trivial expression of concern for our safety. Brushing it off as common courtesy would be simple, but I sense that she may be sensing something unusual regarding the situation that awaits us here. What could be causing this unease? Just Mitsuru-san, no?
Oh, hold on, I guess.
As I'm trying to decide whether or not to look deeper into Mitsuru-san's state of mind, Fuka-san gets up from her operator seat and beckons me over.
What is it? If we can put Lapras aside for a moment. Are you going to be alright without having any maintenance done on you, I guess?
What do you mean?
I read the documents on your new equipment. At first I assumed it was referring to that large gun, but it's actually...
Ah, that. True. There have been no tests confirming that it is capable of being used in an actual combat situation. But we face a powerful foe this time.
Is it even possible? If even one thing were to go
What?
wrong...
Fuka-san's face clouds as she looks at me. I can't be confident that I'll be right, and I'm unable to tell her a pleasant lie to calm her down. In any case, I only pray that a situation like that requires me to use my new equipment never arises. Both of us are tense as we prepare to depart.
Milady, a change of clothes has been laid out in your car.
I see. Thank you.
I've also prepared Akihiko-san's favorite protein drink. And Fuka-san has been preparing a playlist suitable for a road trip in her room.
Huh?
That will be all, Kikuno.
Very well. Pardon me.
As expected from Kikuno-san, she is amazingly considerate as a personal assistant should be, but she can be too thoughtful at times. We learned this for ourselves when she came to accept us as people who are precious to Mitsuru-san.
Let's start this over, shall we? Shadow operatives, let's mobilize.
Thanks to Kikuno-san, the tension in the air subdues a bit, but we cannot allow our attention to wander just now. Upon completing our preparation for departure, we immediately make our way to Inaba. Is this over yet? Damn, he's long.
Why are we taking this car again, Mitsuru?
Akihiko-san grumbles from the backseat of the Shadow Operative's personal limousine. I'm not sure how to put this, but I find the feelings are justified.
Don't question it, Akihiko. There was no time to prepare a vehicle with the same equipment. Speaking of appearances, are you gonna wear that again?
Sure. There's a chance that we'll have to fight after all. These clothes give me the flexibility.
Impressive, Akihiko-san. You never change.
Still, to think that the culprit would make a move so soon. We've completely lost the initiative.
Indeed. We need to begin taking measures right now.
If you don't know, this game actually goes on the day after the original Persona 4 Arena goes on. So, when she says so soon, literally, it's the next day. Mitsuru-san seems deeply agitated during the car ride. She seems distracted. At times, she would flip through the thick file in her lap, waiting to suddenly give an order to a subordinate, and other times, she would stare intently at her watch as if lost in thought. Her usual, regal composure is gone.
Mitsuru-san, why don't we just ask them to cooperate with us?
I agree. They seem pretty strong.
No, they're still young. If I asked for their assistance, it would waste time better spent in school. Worse yet, it would put them in danger. I don't want anyone else to have to go through that anymore.
I understand how you feel, but they don't seem like the kind who listen. No, we were the same way back then.
Mitsuru-san falls silent. It's likely not a mistake to think that the sun spike and shadow activity this time is related to the events of a few days ago. I'm pretty sure it was a day ago. It has become apparent to everyone that another dangerous battle is about to begin.
We have new information. Kikuno sent me a message. I tasked Kikuno with reviewing Ergo Research's quarantine server. But it seems new evidence has come to light regarding Ikutsuki, who we discussed in our earlier conversation. According to the report, it seems Ikutsuki was performing an experiment on his own in the lab directly after the explosion. It's unknown if this is related to our current mission, but there was a record of a plume of dust being used in the experiment.
Oh boy.
A plume of dusk.
A bloom of dust, an object that blurs the line between matter and information, and it is filled with anti-shadow weapons like myself. Fitted into anti-shadow weapons like myself. It forms the core of our personality modules and is what allows us to control personas even though we are machines.
So, what are the details of this experiment? Nothing good, I bet.
Ikutsuki was...
Oh, sorry. Zoned out for a second. The limousine's engine suddenly roars, drowning out further conversation. It seems the road we are taking has begun to climb a steep, high hillside. As the car takes a winding road up the slope, I can look down through the window and see lush trees along the mountainside. For a moment, I thought I sensed a shadow reading. Could it have been just my imagination?
Yamagishi, tell me our current location.
One moment. I'm looking it up now. We're currently in Inaba Pass. We're almost at the target coordinates.
What the fuck?
What is this?
What the fuck? What the fuck?
Was that?
What's wrong?
Holy shit.
An ambush?
What's happening? Driver, what's going on? Answer me!
What the fuck?
This...
It's just like during the hijacking.
Agus!
On it!
Oh my god!
A barrier! Are we trapped?
Minazuki! Oh my god! That was great! That was so good! Oh my god! Why didn't I start this before? And now we get to play as Yukari and Ken. No Junpei. That's great! Oh my god! I'm so happy I decided to play it again. Oh my god! Yeah, that was great. That was good. That's awesome. Oh my god! Dude, I'm so hyped for this now. I'm so hyped for this. That was a really cool cutscene there. I gotta stop right now. So the next episode, we'll probably do Yukari and then Ken, because I myself prefer Yukari in multiple ways, you know what I mean? So, see you guys next time. Scott PF maybe, out.